Rural Republicans in the Texas House of Representatives stood with Democrats today, rejecting education savings accounts or public school vouchers.
House Bill 1 would have allowed parents to use $10,500 per student in taxpayer money to pay private school tuition. It would have cost the state up to $500 million. Now, this the first time the chamber debated vouchers on the floor in the House. So what is the significance? We've heard a lot about vouchers. Now we know it's not part of this plan. What's the plan going forward?
I think what's really significant, though, Brian, if we take a step back and talk about this vote, for decades now, rural Republicans and Democrats have stood together to oppose vouchers. And historically, that opposition had been so strong that a voucher bill, again, for decades, had not even been able to make it to the floor for a vote. So the fact that it made it to this point, to being debated on the floor today, was very significant and spoke so much to the pressure that Governor Greg Abbott had put on lawmakers to get a vote on this. But going into today, there were a lot of questions about whether pro-voucher Republicans had the votes to actually get this passed, and we see they did not. So let's take a live look inside of the House chamber now. We actually don't have them here, and we do not have that live look. But after hours of debate on the amendment, when they finally took the vote, they decided to have a recess for 30 minutes. When I came in, they were still not back yet because they still have to vote on whether or not they'll take up that bill. Now, State Representative John Rainey, a Republican from College Station, authored the amendment to remove education savings accounts or vouchers from the proposal and keep the record public school funding. At one point, he held up the education code and told his colleagues approving vouchers would go against the decades of work they've done to create that code.
Expanding government to find choice programs for a few without accountability of this code undermines our constitutional and moral duty to educate and protect the children of Texas. Members, this should not be a political vote that makes someone across the hall, across the street, or in a town other than your district happy. We are sent here to vote our districts. I ask that you join me and vote your district.
So 21 Republicans voted with Democrats to support the amendment and reject ESAs for a vote of 84-63. Now, after that vote, lawmakers also passed a motion to prevent them from coming back and reconsidering the vote, meaning they cannot reconsider the amendment, so they cannot undo this vote to take vouchers out of the amendment. So HB 1 now only contains that historic funding for public schools. It includes teacher pay raises, more money for special education and charter schools, and we'll, of course, see what happens with that, Brian. The
vote wasn't close, 84-63. Governor Abbott has made this a priority. So what's his next move?
Well, the governor has said that if this were to happen, this very thing, we knew this was coming, that the bill would likely be dead in the Senate, and that if somehow it made it to his desk, that he would veto it. He's also said he will call lawmakers back for another special session and another special session until they pass ESAs. But the Republicans who voted against vouchers today realize that they now have political targets on their backs. And so I don't think a fifth special session is going to make those 21 Republicans change their minds. So we'll see if the governor instead just cuts his losses and focuses on the primaries moving forward.
We'll see what happens. Great analysis.